Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about something very important. But before I do that, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself, James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself, James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope all of you are doing better than fantastic. And sorry for my week-long absence. I was quite busy. And I needed to take some rest as well. With that said, there has been a lot on my mind lately. And it actually is somewhat on topic with a comment that a subscriber made on my last video. And first and foremost, I want to say, all of you all that are commenting and asking questions, and sharing your experiences, I want to thank you. You're not only helping yourself work through many painful things. There's a very big chance you are helping someone else. There are people watching this channel from across the world. And for some it's their first time learning about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. And after they watch the video, they go to the comments section and then they see you. They see what you have to say. It's like I've said. The 40,000 plus subscribers I have this day and this channel's success is largely due to because of all of your viewing, sharing the content, and sharing your thoughts, opinions, questions, and experiences. You see, I say what I have to say here. And after a great many that watch my content, they take off to the comment section and then they read what you have to say. So though the video content is very important, your comments and experiences are equally important. It lets these people out there suffering know they aren't alone. That they aren't crazy. That it wasn't all made up in their head. And once they realize that fact, they can take positive steps to bettering their lives. And finding happiness and joy in living again. Because they are happy with themselves. But as we know, there are narcissists in all areas of life. So this information being put out there on a regular basis is important. Because narcissists are plotting and planning 24/7. Scanning. Looking and manipulating. They are always looking for another target to latch onto and run their game on. Which brings me to the topic in this video. And that's why we bounce from one narcissist to another narcissist. And this is something I was thinking about. And I noticed a subscriber had a video request along the same lines. This subscriber's situation is he was married to a possible covert narcissist. And after the discard, he realized one of his parents might be a covert narcissist as well. And the court drama and chaos led to some very serious health problems for this person that left this comment and video request. And first on that, I want to say, again, I'm praying for you. I pray the Most High Jesus heals your body and your spirit. I really mean it. You see, many of you may know. I believe this is how I lost my father. You see, I often heard stories about how my father was on his own since he was very young. And how he had a bad relationship with his mother. My mother would tell me these stories. As if my father was terrible for not having a good relationship with his mother. My mother also would tell me how when talking to the judge in court, she told the judge how my father couldn't stand his mother. I now know this was my mother who in the early stages got my father to drop his guard. He told my mother these things and his feelings about his mother. And my mother turned around and used these things against him in court. And this goes to my last video. Please remember, they are always data collecting. And they are also thinking and trying to figure out how they can use that data against you at a later time. So if you tell someone new you are dating about having a bad relationship with your mother or father, chances are that bit of data will be used against you when the discard happens. So have boundaries. If someone is going to find out that you have had a bad relationship with your parent or your parents, because you suspect them to being narcissists, please make sure this person is vetted. Heavily vetted. And they have put in their time. And even then, do they really need to know? That's the question you need to ask yourself. You see, I've thought to myself in many instances, not just using the fact I came from a home with this drama and chaos, but other things. And I ask myself, is this or that worth to mention? It could be something small that has nothing to do with my family. And oftentimes, I say, you know, I will wait on that. And the times I do this, I'm usually so glad I did. Because this person I was going to tell this or that revealed something in their behavior or something they might have said that let me know. Wow. I'm so glad I didn't have that conversation with that person about that subject. So be super careful with your information. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. But anyways, this was used against my father in court. Long story short, my father was also accused of many things he clearly didn't do, and was given the option to just walk away and give my mother what she wanted, which mainly was myself and my golden child brother. His attorney basically told him he would not win, which he was right. So my father tried to cut his losses. And after that I would remember my father drive by the neighborhood. He would stop his car a distance away. And he would watch us if we were outside for a moment. Then he would drive away. Then shortly thereafter, he passed away. And I believe it was the stress of all that happened most likely caused his passing. And with all that being said, when I grew up and learned about narcissism, like many of you have learned about narcissism, I started to think back to many things in my life and tried to piece them together. And to be honest with you, it was quite easy. Because these narcissists, though they have their differences, they all seem to be reading off of the same sheet of music. And they have a great many patterns they share from one narcissist to the next. No matter what country they are from. And no matter the language that they speak. And when I took a mental look at my father's life, the little that I knew about it, I realized something very important. It was a very good chance he was in the home with possibly a narcissist mother. And who knows about his father? Maybe he was a narcissist. Maybe he was an enabler. Maybe a codependent. I have no idea. And despite if my father was codependent or not, the simple fact of the matter is my father didn't have a name and books and the internet to tell him what and who he was dealing with in regards to his mother. So he would possibly do the self-work needed to hopefully not be codependent. And so he would have boundaries. You see, my mother was in always one life struggle after another. And used this as a way to draw people into her life. So she could manipulate them. Then there were those that just walked away from her. Because likely they could tell something was wrong. Possibly because they knew what normal looked like. They might not have had an understanding regarding narcissism. But they knew what normal looked like. However, when you have been raised by a narcissist or narcissist, they skew your perception of life on purpose. So you have many stumbles and falls on your life journey. So hopefully you won't fulfill your dreams and goals. And so they might be able to feed upon the supply from your misery and pain from such life stumbles and falls. And it's likely my mother had a lot of problems that my father, like a possible codependent, tried to fix. And that's the hook right there. You see, we as narcissistic abuse survivors now know what and who we are. We know what we went through. We have names for it now. We didn't then. And people like my father for sure didn't have this information. So codependency aside, though it's a big problem, a big part of why we leave a home, from a narcissist parent to a narcissist spouse, and possibly someone we married and had children with, is because we quite plain and simply didn't know any better. We just didn't. We didn't have the tools, the information, the self-work. None of it. And what makes it worse is when you get discarded by this narcissist you might have been married to. Someone you loved. Someone you felt loved you. Someone you spent nice, or what you thought were nice and romantic times with in the beginning of getting to know them. You might have gotten to know their family. And maybe sadly you felt like through them, this was the first family you ever had. Because you start seeing slowly there is something wrong with your mother or your father. Or both. And you latch onto the little bit of what you think is love you are getting from your spouse and their family. Then once they have you right where they want you, they realize your friends aren't around to help you anymore. And you are spending less and less time with your narcissist parent or parents. And they have you all to themselves. They let their mask not only slip but come completely off. They start seeing someone behind your back. They take you to court. They try to ruin your life. And they lie about you using half-truths from things you told them in strict confidence in the past. And you get sick. You see, I've talked about the family court system for many years. And this is the reason why. Look. Many of us are going to learn about narcissism at different times in our lives. Some might learn about it while sitting in a courtroom trying to understand how someone we were married to could turn so evil. We might learn about it after a first date. We might look it up on the internet because of a boss we work for. Or a new friend in our life. But just because you learned about narcissism after the fact doesn't mean your health should be in jeopardy. And that's why the only reason why family court and divorce court should be used in unusual cases. If you get married, you should have to sign a legal agreement between the two parties with terms and stipulations. Much like a prenup. But one that is upheld. And one that has been thoroughly gone over by lawyers. Then there is no question of who gets what. And again, the only way divorce court should be used in this instance is if one party doesn't want to hold up to their end of the agreement. Because you see, a great many narcissists and narcissist lights use the divorce court system or narcissistic supply as a get-rich scheme. You see, we hear about how these online scammers get people to put money in their accounts. And then they run off with all of their money, leaving them homeless and broke. Taking all of their retirement. My question is, what is the difference between that and someone that pretends to love someone only to get them to sign a marriage contract? And to stay a certain amount of time. And then cash out by discarding this person and putting them through the financial ringer. What's the difference? It appears the only difference is one scam is done online and the other is done in person. But that's just my humble cartoon opinion. And the same with family court. If a relationship breaks down, and both parents can show they are supporting their kids, meaning they have receipts for clothes, food, schooling if there is private schooling, school supplies, so forth and so on. No court should be needed. Just keep on doing what you are doing. But in the cases where a narcissist leaves someone high and dry and not helping literally at all, well, because they are a narcissist, that's the case where that person would be taken to court. And believe you me, if both family court and divorce court were handled in this way, you would see way less narcissists taking to these romance marriage scams, fooling people into love and then ruining their lives. Because this person that left the comment, his worst troubles should be to work on healing from the breakup and finding out he has a parent that is possibly disordered as well. Which is a lot. But the last thing someone like this should be involved in is having the court system rip their life apart. This is not a joke, people. It's not. And it's you that can change it. Divorce is on the rise. Marriage rates are on the decrease. And narcissists are going for the last bit of narcissistic supply they can get. And people can fix it if they stand up and speak up loud enough. But until then, what do we do? What do the people do that are going through it right now? You do what you can. You do what you can. You first and foremost take care of your health. And part of that is from having some control over your life. And this is where not only research comes into play but help. I want to ask any lawyer out there that does work for free at times. Because I've seen some good lawyers do it. Give some of these people suffering some relief. Giving them the news that you will take their case for $1 or for free or $5 will make their day. Now I know you can't do that with everyone. But if each lawyer picked up 2 clients they represented for free or for a small fee, you would have a lot of narcissistic abuse victims to be able to rest easy. And so they can get their health back together. You might be able to help them get a good parenting plan and an easy resolution that is workable and livable. Because we all know the narcissist doesn't want you to be in a livable situation. And maybe with such good news, these people can rebuild their lives again. They can make friends. They can take up a hobby. And they might find someone that honestly and truthfully loves them. I've seen it with my own 2 cartoon eyes. Being raised in a home with narcissist chaos. Then onto the so-called dream spouse of one's life. But really out of the frying pan and into the fryer, so to speak. By ending up with another narcissist. Then this information is learned. This person grows. And their life grows, and as a result they end up with better friends. Fewer friends but better friends. And they might end up with someone that really loves them as much as they love them too. This is why I say, I want to shoot for 100,000 subscribers. Or 200,000 subscribers. So maybe, just maybe, someone like the person that left that comment might be able to get some help and some relief. Just maybe a lawyer in their area and a doctor in their area might say, please come into my office. No charge. I want to make sure you are taken care of. I truly want to see that happen. I'm not just about talking about narcissists and all of the evil things they do. But I want to see some good come from it. To the person that made this comment, I can relate to your story. Though there are some differences between you and me, there are many things I can relate to. And I want to see you get the help you need. And while you are working on your health situation and court situation, please know, you aren't alone. And I'm praying for you. And I'm sure there are many others that are going to do the same. I pray the Most High take care of you, protect you, and provide you the healing and medical care that you need. I pray that He allows your court issues to get resolved quickly and with a good result that you can live with. And I pray your life be surrounded by people that truthfully and honestly care about you. With that said, please share your thoughts, questions and experiences. Again, you don't know who you might be helping by doing so. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.